Hello there, welcome back to my channel. This time is what I've done is I've gone back to the sets that retired in 2024 to see how they're doing. But like I've said in other videos way back, I use quite a lot of different websites to get the information, and some of the websites I pay like a fee for a monthly fee to get extra information that other people can't get hold of just freely off the internet, sort of thing. So some of the information that what I've done is I've looked up to see how many sets have been listed in the last 90 days and how many have sold and that kind of thing, and what countries they've sold in. But the information that I get, it's from Amazon, eBay, Bricklink and StockX, and also from it goes America, UK, Europe, Denmark and Australia. So the figures that I'm going to go on is through those countries, those websites only. So it doesn't include the sales and that in the stores of Lego.com or the website of Lego.com or Walmart or Argos in the UK or that kind of thing. So it's only Amazon, eBay, Bricklink and StockX, so the sales of those. So I'm going to give you the figures of how many's been listed in the last 90 days and how many have sold, and also the prices or the average prices of what they sold. And I'm also going to put how many have sold in USA and UK, because most of my subscribers are from those two. I'm kind of split it up into other countries as well. But the figures as to how many have sold isn't through 90 days. It's actually, I think it's about 6 months. So if you add it together and the figures are totally correct, that's because one's got a longer period than the other one, that's why. So I'm going to start off with Star Wars, because when you go to Brick Fanatics to get the list, they start off with Star Wars. So right, so the first one is let's say these all retired in 2024, so it's a recap of what they're doing. First one is 40615, the Tuscan Raider, which was $9.99. If you go on Brickeconomy, they value it at 15, BrickSet 9. If you go on Amazon, they're selling for up to £30, and on eBay they sold for up to £18. So if you go on Camel 3X, it's got a low of $11.74 and a high of $29.99. So that's the prices that it's sold on Amazon and that. So in the last 90 days, 423 people have listed the Tuscan Raider at the average price of £14.46, and they've actually sold 129 at the average price of £12.93. So obviously that tells you that they're not getting the price that they hoped that they were getting. It's a little bit less than what they're expecting. But like I say, it's the average. So some have sold for more, some have sold for less. And in the US, like I say, I think it's the last 6 months, they've sold 81, or should I say they bought 81 in the US and 7 in the UK. So next one is 75257, the Millennium Falcon, $149.99. Brickeconomy value is 127, BrickSet 89. If you go on Amazon, it's been sold, or it's for sale, up to £274. On eBay it's sold for 160, and on Camel 3X it's got a low of $92.99 and a high of 226. So it's sold for 226 at some point. It's been listed 356 times with an average price of £136, and it's sold 110 times with an average price of 131, and 94 were bought in the US and 6 in the UK. Next one is 75290, the Mos Eisley Cantina, $344.99. Brickeconomy values it at 395, BrickSet 298. On Amazon it's for sale for up to £652. On eBay it actually sold for £1,025.70. The figures for that one are worth £204. Alright, so that one Camel 3X has got a low of 279 and a high of 530. And listed in the last 90 days was 332 with an average price of 399. It actually sold 132 sets with an average price of 391. And in the US, 49 people bought it, and in the UK, 10 people bought it. Next one is 75308, the R2D2, the big brother rather than the smaller one. That was 209.99. Brickeconomy values it at 174, BrickSet 124. On Amazon it's for sale for up to £400, and on eBay it's sold for £215. On Camel 3X it's got a low of 162 and a high of 410. The figure is worth about 2. It's been listed 318 times with an average price of 187.73, and it's sold 76 times at an average price of £179. In the US, 48 people bought it, and in the UK, 9 people bought it. Next one is 75313, the 8080, or AT, whichever way you want to pronounce it. 734.99. Now, Brickeconomy values it at 869. BrickSet 580. There's a big difference. On Amazon, it's for sale for up to £1,554. On eBay, it actually sold for £1,250, and on Camel 3X, it's got a low of 660 and a high of 1,470. The figures are valued at around £68. 428 have been listed in the last 90 days at an average price of £916, and 150 have sold at an average price of £851, and 48 were bought in the US and 1 in the UK. Next one is 75341, the Luke Skywalker Land Speeder, 209.99. Brickeconomy value at 158, BrickSet 137. On Amazon, it's for sale for up to £360. On eBay, it's sold for £224, and on Camel 3X, it's got a low of 157 and a high of 250. The figures are worth around £16. It's been listed 361 times, an average price of 182, and 71 have sold at an average price of 174.77. In the US, 41 people have bought it, and the UK only 3. Next one is 75344, the Boba Fett Starship Microfighter, $8.99. Brickeconomy values it at £9.50, BrickSet £6. On Amazon, it's for sale up to £27. On eBay, it's sold for £14. On Camel 3X, it's got a low of 7 and a high of 16. The figures are valued at around 3, and it's been listed 327 times with an average price of £10.28, and it's sold 82 times with an average price of £10.74. It's sold in the US 92 times and in the UK 10 times. Next one is 75346, the Pirate Snub Fighter, $29.99. Just to show you that I've got some of those. I've got 3 of them, but I actually bought them at clearance. Yeah, $29.99. So Brickeconomy values that at 27, BrickSet 15, and Amazon, they're being sold or for sale up to £50. On eBay, sold for 37, and Camel 3X has got a low of 20 and a high of 33. So it's still a smidge over MSRP. The figures are valued at around 8, and it's been listed 263 times at an average price of £26.89, and it's sold 60 times at an average price of £28.16. So considering that set got a lot of hate, it's only just below MSRP. And in the US, 82 were bought, and in the UK, 16. Next one is 75348, the Mandalorian Fang Fighter versus the Interceptor, 89.99. And I'm just showing that I've got two of those. So Brickeconomy value it at 71, BrickSet 57. On Amazon it's for sale for up to £148. On eBay it's sold for 84, and on Camel 3X it's got a low of 54 and a high of 90. The figures are valued at around 16, and it was listed 339 times with an average price of 77.82, and it's sold 81 times at an average price of 77.25. In America it was bought 99 times, and in the UK 13 times. Next one is 75350, the Clone Commander Cody helmet, 59.99. Brickeconomy value at 56, BrickSet 43, and on Amazon it's for sale for up to £120. On eBay it's sold for £80, and Camel 3X has got a low of 40 and a high of 82. It was listed 352 times at £55.81 average, and it's sold 108 times with an average of £55.27. And in the US 90 people bought it, and in the UK only 12 people bought it. Next one is 75351, the Princess Leia's Bouche helmet, 59.99. Brickeconomy values it at 71, BrickSet 49. On Amazon it's for sale up to £130. On eBay it's sold for £75. On Camel 3X it's got a low of 58 and a high of 120. It was listed 386 times with an average price of £72.28, and it's sold 129 times with an average price of £73.82. And it was bought in the US 88 times and in the UK only once. Right, it's getting a bit long, so I'll stop there and I'll continue in my next video. So thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks, bye.